morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy, Frie, and Peggy Bohlin back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Okay.
Good. How's life at the library been? I mean, you guys been pretty, I know spring break was, for Roswell was last week.
Right.
I'm assuming you guys had spring break activities. I'm assuming
Yes.
you probably were a little bit busier last week with the kids
Well,
and
we
families.
had a STEM camp.
Yeah, and that's a STEM camp. And
That was awesome.
how did it good crowds and
Yeah,
everybody love it?
good amount of people, and we launched rockets at the Wool Bowl on Wednesday instead
Nice.
of Thursday because the winds on Thursday
That
were
was
predicted.
the windy day. Yeah.
Right, and so we had a fire truck out there and an ambulance and the whole thing. It was so much fun. The kids loved it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I imagine maybe a couple of those kids will probably, now that they're done STEM camp, are probably talking to their parents about, hey, can we get a rocket kit? I'd like to build my own rocket or build my own.
Yeah, there's a couple who actually asked about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yes.
Next thing you know, they're going to be our next little NASA engineers over here,
Right,
or
you could-
scientists, or who knows? Maybe they're going to work for Bohlin and design the next big plane. Who knows?
Yes,
But,
because the rockets they built, they can be launched again with the proper engines.
yes.
So that's what's
And
great.
proper construction, and you put the engine in properly. When you don't do those things, you don't get to do it.
Not at all.
Although you might get a show, depending on what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hence the need for the fire department.
That's right. That's why we call the fire department. It is
Very
Desert
cool.
Southwest.
But I'm glad the kids had a great time, and
Oh,
the
yes.
families that participated. So if you missed out, I guess you're just going to have to wait for summer reading program for more fun stuff this summer here, which we'll talk more about as
Right.
we get to summer here.
Mm-hmm.
But I know April's a busy month for you guys too, though, right? You guys got a bunch of stuff here in April coming up, don't you?
At the end of the month, we have Day of the Child. So
Okay.
we're gonna have like a little celebration. It's all revolving around a book called Book Fiesta, and it's like a American Library Association thing. They have the Day of the Child
Okay.
once a year in April, and so we're gonna have a little celebration. We'll have a sort of almost like a party. We'll have games and
Okay.
and we invite the public to come.
Sure.
Yeah.
But really, it's at the end of the day, it's promoting reading and trying to
Right.
get kids
Children enjoying books.
Yeah, getting a kid to hopefully find their book that
Right.
opens their minds and desires up to want to read and to read more. Because the idea is to get them to read a lot more in that first book. Is to get them into that
Correct.
book, that
Right.
first book. They get into it. They love the story. They make something that's their own.
Yes.
And when they're done with that, hopefully the bug is in there and they're ready to find their next story that they can
Definitely.
get around. And that's all we're trying to do here is get that to get these kids to enjoy reading as
Right.
much as they enjoy getting on their cell phone, playing games, and doing all the things that they do to buy idle time and things like that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. What else do we want to mention? I know of course, we always got the daily activities, and we got
Right.
some other things that we'll talk about here in a minute. But
Right.
Is there any special events or anything we want to make sure we cover?
Special events? No, that would be the one big special event at the end of the month.
Okay.
Because we're, of course, gearing up for summer reading, which will start in June. So that's why it's just one thing.
Gotcha. But that's the big, and what I mean by, because they have monthly scheduled
Right.
events like the Stitchers Unite meet every month, and of
Yeah.
course they'll have their Lego
Right.
Lego night and
Board games
of course
and
the story
chess
times for the
club.
younger kids during the week and things like those are all happening like they normally
Right.
would.
Right.
And so and we'll remind you about each of those here in
Right.
just a few, but that's what I meant when we're talking regular versus
Right.
Is it still tax season for you guys pretty
Yes.
heavy, or is that pretty much done now? Or
Well, see, I'm on the children's side, but I know that they do have
a lot of kids ain't at requesting tax forms?
no teens have come over and asked me for tax forms. They're on the adult side, but
Right.
I know they still have plenty of forms. So if
Okay.
anybody still needs forms, they're more than welcome to come down and get it for free.
I didn't know if there was a bit of a hiatus till about April 13th, and then everybody and their uncle
Right.
gets back, and I need to get that tax file. I better get that done. So, but the library can help with all the documentation and forms and things. And if you don't know how to fill them out past that, then you might need to talk to a CPA, not the librarian. But that's just my advice. One thing I do want to talk about real quick, and we've talked about this in the past, but now that some people still have some spring breaks going on, and of
Right.
course summer's right around the corner, If you got family road trips around the state planned in the coming weeks, months, or ahead here, the Roswell Public Library through the New Mexico Tourism Department has a really good opportunity. And this has been for a couple years now, even pre-COVID. This family pass.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And basically, there's 20-some things around the state.
I can pass this to you so you can take a look at it.
There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, actually 15 total locations around the state, museums, historical sites that you can get into for free with this pass.
Right.
Free or reduced.
Or discounted. And I think that covers like up to 6 people.
Yes.
Something like that.
So a whole family can get in here. Just a couple off the list here. Here in Alamogordo, the New Mexico Museum of Space History. If you've never been to the Space Museum there,
It's a great one.
take this pass, get in there, free or discounted, depending on what they do. Let's see, other stuff on the south end of town, or south end of the state here. Historic sites include Fort Sumner, the Lincoln Historical Site. So if you always wanted to go do the Billy the Kid stuff, you can go see it for free with all this here. And of course, if you want to see some of the museums of Albuquerque and Santa Fe, the National Hispanic Cultural Center, the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science, the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museums, all those are covered. In Santa Fe, the Museum of the Indian Arts and Culture, Museum of International Folk Art, the New Mexico History Museum, the Palace of the Governors in Santa Fe there, the New Mexico Museum of Art, and of course, the Coronado site, El Camino, Fort Selden, Fort Stanton, Fort Sumner, Jimenez Historic Site, and Lincoln. All those places you can go for free or discounted with this pass. Now, how this pass works is you check it out like a book.
And
you
for
get
1 week.
And you get it for 1 week. You can't renew it.
Right.
You can't do it over the phone. You got to come to the front desk, physically be there, check it out, physically take it with you, and then 7 days from that day, you got to bring it back to the library.
Right.
But what you do with it in those 7 days, you can take it all over the state and do anything.
Right.
But we got to bring it back in 7 days so the next family has a chance to do those things too.
Exactly.
But you think about it, 6 people to go see. I just know Lincoln, for instance. I think it's about $8-10 a person to go see Lincoln. You got 6 of them. That's $60 right there.
Right.
That's a lunch you just saved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And money there that you can use for other parts of your trip or something
It's
like
the
that.
same as the Albuquerque Natural History Museum. That's on there, and it's $8 to get into that wonderful museum.
Yeah.
Only $8. But if you have the pass, it's free.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, another pro tip: if you're going to go to see Lincoln, go and get the extra and go to see Fort Stanton too. I'm telling you, it's just a little 10-minute trip over there,
Right.
But Lincoln's cool and you see all the stuff, but there's equally a cool experience over at Fort Stanton.
Right.
I finally got a chance, like last year, to finally go and walk through and see the quarters and see the quartermasters and the museum and all there. It is cool. It is so cool. They got
It is neat.
and it's Civil War history. It's all the way up to World War I and II history. There's so much history there that not just cowboys stuff. You know what I mean? And so when you do go to Lincoln and go get that pass, go make sure you take the family farther up the hill there to Fort Stanton and go check that out too. So.
And then we just ask that after they finish and they bring it back, they have a little family survey. It's like only like 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, like 5 questions.
And they really want to know just how much people are utilizing this, where they're
Right.
going with it.
how they felt using it.
And I'm guessing, too, if the list that they have of places meets the needs. Is there enough of them? Maybe there's some more we need to add.
Right.
Maybe there's some that aren't as popular, and we need to swap them out with something to be more
Right.
popular. So they use that information to kind of curtail and to customize this opportunity for folks, too. So.
Correct.
Well, maybe the city of Roswell could put a couple of their museums on
I'm
there.
just saying, why
nice.
can't I would think it'd be great to put the Anderson Museum or the Roswell Museum or the zoo or especially now that they're charging for some of those folks. Maybe some of the out of town folks can or are in town folks, because I'm sure other libraries across the state are offering the same pass.
I'm sure.
But some of our Roswell folks could use it here, or folks coming from Cruces or Farmington to come visit us, they can use
Right.
that
Right,
pass
because
from
I'm
their
sure
library.
right.
Yeah. So, I would love to see that, to get a few more folks to come visit our stuff. Come for the aliens, stay for the rest of the cool stuff.
Right. The Anderson Museum is free, though. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
it
need
is.
that. Yeah. So that's a free.
Shh, I was trying to start something here.
No, we need to.
No, you need that pass to get it. $5 if you want. Just stand there and look. Actually, I laugh real quick. I had a friend of mine when I was in the military. He was a guy in the military, and his kid was about ready to go on a field trip to Washington D.C. We were in Alamogordo, and his kid was about to do a big trip to D.C. in his high school class. And so the kid was telling him how much spending money he needs and all that. He goes, "Well, I got to pay for the museums and all these." I said, "He's going to D.C., right?" He's like, "Yeah. All the Smithsonian museums are free. You don't pay anything to go."
That's right.
So I just blew up this kid's trying to get an extra couple $100 and spend it. He goes, "Oh, really? Thank you for telling me that." Sorry, kid.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's go. If you want to learn more about that pass, just come to the front desk at the library there, and they'll be happy to explain to you and give it a check out. But like I said, you got to time it. So time it to pick it up right around you, and you can't reserve it.
Right.
You can't be like, "Hey, can you hold it for me? I'm going to pick it." No, can't do that. It's first come, first serve. When it's there, it's there. When it's kind of, I think you got more than one, right?
Yeah, I think we have about 10.
Okay.
And it's not being utilized as much as we would like.
That's why we're saying, so you don't have a problem, but we would like to make it so it's a little bit in demand,
Exactly.
Because everyone loves to go out and sightsee. You're going to go and do these things. Might as well, let's add a little bit, or maybe add to your adventure. Maybe you're going to go up there to visit family and didn't really have plans. And what's that move? You go to visit family. It's like, what do you want to do today? And they end up hanging around the house, yelling at each other. The kids go crazy. You end up going to some place that serves ice cream or something. It's like, well, let's add some of these cool historic places into it and then get your ice cream.
Exactly.
Good deal. So that's available right now.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the story times and some of our regular scheduled events.
Right. Okay, so we're still having on Tuesdays at 10:30. We have our Mother Goose story time, which is like for birth to 3 years old.
Okay.
And we also have a Spanish version at 5 p.m.
nice.
on Tuesdays.
And you know what?
And it's Spanish immersion, too.
Bring your English kids to that.
Yes.
And what because they'll probably learn a lot more Spanish then than they will in high school when they're trying to learn it then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they know that stuff. So, I mean, if you're trying to get your children exposed to multicultural languages and getting them, bring those kids to those Spanish stores. I don't care if you got Spanish and you're not, bring it in there. Go in there and put them in there and get them exposed to, and vice versa.
Right.
English kids, Spanish kids, bring them to both. They can suck up so much at that age.
Oh, they can.
And it's you're doing such a great service to your children by doing that. So.
And Diana does the Spanish. Diana is doing the Spanish story, Mother Goose story time, and she does do the stories in both English and Spanish, so that because we do have so many that are coming that are not Spanish speakers. So
great. Well, it's great because now you can learn the other language because now you can put 2 and 2 together, and it's like, oh, that word means that. I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great. So please use that as another teaching guide to because really. Kids at that age, they're sponges. They see and mimic and do. And the more you show them, the more they're going to mimic, see, and do, the more that's going to sink in and make that child, when they get older, become that more better at critical thinking, reading, all the things we hope our kids possess when we're done. They got a much bigger leg up and advantage on that by coming out to story time when they're newborns, 2 years old, and reading Spanish and English, dude. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I got
That's
on
all right. Okay, and then on Wednesdays, we still have at 10:30 our music and movement story time. So it's dancing. It's a story dance type thing. Okay. And that's for ages 3 to 5.
Very good. Getting active. Nothing wrong with that. Burn off some energy.
It's funny. I'm reading the story, and you can hear them all wiggly, but as soon as I say, okay, now it's time to dance because we're wiggling, then everybody's attention because they just want to get up and dance and move.
Well, they know their dance is coming, but
Yeah.
they know they can't do it yet, but they can't help it, so they're kind of like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, let it go, it's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fun.
And so our monthly, we're just going to have STEM only once this month, and that's going to be on the 20th.
Okay.
Peggy's going to be doing that one. And that's going to be at 4:30 on Wednesday, the 20th.
Okay.
And then also we have our book club for the kids, and we're going to be reading Esperanza Rising on April 7th.
Okay.
At 4:30.
And what remind me again, what's the age appropriate for the book club for kids?
Well, it's reading level appropriate.
So it's multiple. So if they're kindergarten or whatever or younger, there's.
If they can read and understand the book, they're more than welcome to come.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if a 14-year-old would get something out of this and an 8-year-old would, or something like that.
If they like If they're more than welcome to borrow the book.
Okay.
And if they like the book and they want to come back and discuss it, they're more.
I guess maybe like if what do you think the appropriate grade level is for that book reading wise? Like what?
Probably like 3rd grade.
Okay. Just wanted. I was like, is this more for elementary kids or more for middle school or So probably more elementary age kids. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
And so we also have our crochet club that meets 3 p.m. on Fridays.
Nice.
And then our Saturday is going to be full of this. Okay, April 2nd, we'll have the chess club at 10 a.m.
Okay.
All levels.
And if you want to learn chess or you got some chess under your belt and want to play or maybe mentor or look for a new chess partner, just come out to those meetings and play some chess.
And that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can come and go.
Okay.
And then on April 2nd, also, we have the Lego Club at 11 a.m. That's 11 to 1 p.m.
And that's for families to come out and just play Legos.
Right. We have all sizes.
Yeah. And really, the idea is to get the parents and the kids down there playing together. Because as we all know, Legos is one of those multi-generational.
Oh, yes.
I think we're at the point on this earth where pretty much every American, regardless of how old you are, have played with Legos at some point. You know what I mean?
Or stepped on one.
Or stepped on one, Of course, you're probably not as big a fan of the Lego. I'm not ready to go out for Legos. But for those that got enjoyment out of it, love to have you come. And of course, parents can be like, when I was a kid, we had these, and this is what we did. And kids would be like, oh, well, this is what we do now. And you guys still do like, usually what it is there's like a little quick 10-minute project they can do or something, and then it's free reign. Did y'all still do that? Or
I was putting out like challenges, but most of the kids, they just wanted to come in and they just wanted to free build.
So you just kind of let them do it all for that.
Right.
Cool. So wherever your mind creates and takes it to, that's what you get to do. And of course, y'all take pictures of some of the cool stuff and put it on Facebook and all that. So
we had one child that created a chicken that was so cool. So of course we put that on Facebook.
Yeah. That's part of the fun, and that's why I like kids, because this brings you back to the original style of Legos, where they just gave us a big box of Legos, the various things, and said create. Now it feels like Legos are more about kits. Here's the Death Star Lego. Here's the whatever Lego, and when we were kids, you didn't get all that. You just got a big old thing of Legos and said, "Here's Legos. Go make Legos."
That's probably why the kids like. If I I was originally putting up a challenge, and a lot of them were into it. They just wanted to create on their own, and that's probably they just didn't want to. They wanted to just be.
Yeah, you want to make a dragon or a spaceship or whatever. It's yours to make. Or, or make a giant teddy bear, whatever it is. As long as you got the Legos, we'll make it. Well, what's the date on that again?
That's on April 2nd, Saturday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Very good. If someone tells you the first, they're pulling your leg.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, and then on the following Saturday, April 9th, we're going to be watching the movie The Croods, and that's at 2 p.m.
Okay, that's the animated, the cave, the family of cavemen, cave people, I don't know what you would call it. But I got you. Okay.
And we'll have free popcorn there, like always.
That's a Disney Pixar, isn't it? Is that one of the Disney?
It's not Disney.
It's not Disney? Okay, I couldn't remember. I don't have kids, so I'm not sure.
DreamWorks, maybe.
That's a DreamWorks, okay. I don't know. They're all the same in my head.
Pretty much.
But it's a fun family movie. So.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
My grandsons and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." They were making me laugh.
Again, I'm at that. I don't have kids, so it's kind of creepy if I'm one watching those now at this point.
With the popcorn.
Yeah. It's like, there's no kid in this room. Why do you have the Croods on? Don't worry about it.
Research.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. But very cool. So come out and bring the family, enjoy a movie. Like I said, y'all do the free popcorn and everything. You kind of sit down and make a little family fun event for you guys to get out and do your plans. So good deal. What else do we want to make sure we let folks
And then
know about?
on the 16th, the following Saturday after that, at 11 a.m., we have board games. And we just put board games out. And we have parents that come in, and they might just not even realize it's board game Saturday. They'll just come to
do whatever they were to do,
And then they see that, and they go in, and they play games with their kids for a couple of, 30 minutes, and then they go check out their items.
Well, imagine it's also cool, too, because now you can kind of, like, if parents are always thinking, like, at home, we need to have some games and things for the kids to do, but you're never really sure when you're buying them, like, which ones they'll embrace and things.
Right.
use this as a test drive and come and let them play some of the board games that are available there. And if they kind of gravitate towards one, make sure you pick up games and games like it for your own home and for your own family game nights and things like that.
Yes.
So use that as something, because board games is one of those things where it's a technology that we grew up with and knew, and now a lot of that's gone digital. So you're like, hey kid, this is it's like solitaire. Is there a kid that knows how to actually play solitaire with a deck of cards anymore?
No.
Do you think there's anybody? Yeah, my grandmother faithfully in the back kitchen, but all the rest of us are sitting on the computer doing it. And it's like I don't even know how to set it up. What's the picture on the thing looking? Right. You know what I mean? So, but games like Clue and Monopoly and all that. Yeah, right. They were all done on actual board games before computers. So.
Well, that's like making a paper airplane.
Yeah.
Kids don't know how to make paper airplanes. I'm like, that, like, to me, it was just something I knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where.
I remember I had me and two friends, and this is when I was little, like maybe 6, 7. That was our day. We'd literally, like, they would, you know how you used to get the old Sears or JCPenney catalog?
Right.
And like the Christmas one, it'd be
and put them under the sofa.
Literally, they'd take the old one, and then that was our paper. And so we'd sit on the front porch, they'd rip out a piece of paper, and all right, here's a plane. And I don't know how many paper airplanes were stuck up on the roof of my neighbor's house. Like we have a windstorm, they just all soaking messes on the But yeah, we literally spent days just making paper airplanes. And I had one friend that was like the good one. Like I can make the one that looks like the plane that everybody looks at.
Right.
This guy can make the ones that look like bats, or you know what I mean? It's like, they don't even look like planes anymore. They just look like these weird flying contraptions. He can make all those with paper, and so he kind of led the way, and we all just. Did he ever show me? Of course not. Well, he probably tried. I'm too stupid to
You weren't patient enough to pay attention.
I want to play planes, man. I don't want to sit there and hold. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. That was stuff we did. So bring a little of that nostalgia with board game night.
Yes.
Come out and come and pick your games. And like I said, you guys got a selection of games, probably most of the ones that everyone knows and loves, and they go there. And then maybe use that as to spawn or start your own game nights with your families and say, hey, that was fun. Let's go get our own game of Clue or whatever, and do that ourselves, or the game of life or Monopoly,
or pick up sticks.
Yeah,
something simple, or break the ice. It's the easy ones.
Just remember, if you buy the game Risk, prepare to lose a week of your life.
I'm telling you.
And and maybe an argument or two. I'm just saying. Be careful of that one. That one starts wars, literally. Good deal. What else do we want to promote, or we get it all?
Well, I just wanted to say the one thing left I want to say is that this second week in April, we're supposed to have our Play and Learn Center installed. And so we're going to have in the children's area. Yeah, we're going to have it in the children's area, like a big boat for them to play on.
Okay.
It's
a
really
car.
cool.
Oh, wow.
And they can sit in it. And
cool.
And then in the Malone room, we're going to have a truck. And it's like little interactives on it.
Oh, cool.
So that's
kind of like
supposedly it's supposed to be, cross fingers, the second week in April. It will be installed.
Right. So knock on the wood, cross the fingers, do a rain, not a rain dance, but a delivery dance.
Don't do that.
Well, we could use the rain, maybe just not for that day. So slow up the thing. But yeah, that'll be cool. I love to see you see that when it's in ready and going, and we'll have to when you guys are obviously when it's up and running, we'll be back and. Maybe we can bring some pictures and stuff to show people.
I will definitely bring pictures if it's up and show it to you. And yes, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds like I'm going to be fighting kids to kick them out of this thing because I'm going to be playing it. Like that guy at the mall that throws them out of the quarter thing and I sit on the horse.
That'll be you.
But it does sound pretty cool there. So look for that, hopefully.
Yeah. They
here in a few weeks.
They promised the second week, so I'm thinking it'll probably take a couple of days to finish installing.
Sure. Yeah, imagine once it's here, they got to set it up, and it sounds like that's not just something you say, here you go. It takes a little bit of integration into what you guys have, and all that. So very cool. Yeah. But look for it coming soon.
Yes, this month, hopefully.
Good deal. Matter of fact, go check out some books today. And about the time they're due, they should be ready.
There you go. You can come over. You can come over and check to see if it's up.
Yeah. By the time you're going to return your books, you can see if it's ready there.
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks. Yeah. So you about give or take a day or two here. But go this weekend, check out some books. And when you got to return them, they should be there.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like that. That's a good way to measure it.
Yeah.
Of course, a great way to stay up to date is follow and like the Roswell Public Library. If you are an Instagram or Facebook user, those are the two main platforms that the library uses. I encourage you to like and follow those. That way you can stay up to date, and every time events like this happen, you're one of the first to know because it comes right up on there too. If you like the old-fashioned way, which I kind of dig a little bit, you can always come by the front desk at the beginning of each month and pick up a new monthly calendar.
Yes.
And that one's got all the events that are happening for really the next 2 months, isn't it? It's got 2 months on there, or is it just one
We
month?
just have like what's coming up in the following month, but
Gotcha.
it's
So
not.
it's like a preview of next month.
Right.
Gotcha. So you can put that up on the refrigerator, and so that way you know what days the story times are, what days Lego night is, and so you don't accidentally miss them because life happens sometimes. You got there is a reminder. So.
Yeah.
And of course, you can always call the library and ask
Yes.
if you have any questions about anything we talked about here or anything we didn't talk about here that you need help with the library to take care of. If you're asking about membership or asking about services and things like that, there's a whole bevy of online services that are available to you through the library, tutoring to music and other periodicals. Other cool things that you wouldn't think that's a really part of a library. All that's available to you as a member of the library with your card in good standing. And in theory, I say this all the time, in theory, you could utilize the library and never set foot in the library. Don't recommend that, but you could. And all of that's free of charge. So take advantage of all this stuff just by getting a card and coming in. If you're a family with kids and everything, library should be on your speed dial. That's an old way of saying quick connect for you young folks.
Speed dial?
Say what?
But keep it in the front burner there. So because to be honest, whenever you're having a pickle for what's to do with the family, library's probably got you covered. If you
pretty much every day
if you have that information handy to you. So keep that available, and all of it is better. Like I'm telling you this, when we talk about these stories, I'm not joking about that. Bring those kids, the Spanish, whatever. I don't care what they're talking about or what language it's in. Bring your kid to it and put your kid in front of it and let them absorb that stuff. That's all, because I kind of wish I happened to me, because now I took 3 years of Spanish in high school and I still stink at it. I'm thinking if I maybe had exposure as a kid, that would have sunk in a little bit better, or doesn't sound so foreign to me, because that's part of the problem is you got to almost change your mindset on certain ways you conjugate things so it doesn't. But if you're learning as a kid all at once, it kind of seamlessly flows, and it's more logical to you because you've been exposed to it a lot longer. So. Anyway, I got soapboxy again, but I'm serious. These are the kind of things you could really do to give your kid a leg up, your family a leg up, and it's all right there for you, free of charge. All you have to do is go out and get it. That's really all we're doing here. So please, utilize it. There's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of problems, a lot of busy things, but there are things you can do to positively impact that, and this is one of them. So go do it.
Exactly.
Excellent. Is there anything we missed after that?
No, sir. You can come down on the soapbox now. Let me help you then.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to get people to do these things because they're there, and I hear it all the time. Well, it's not there. Like there is. You're just sitting here complaining about it. There's a whole lot going on.
Oh yes.
Get knowledgeable. Be proactive about this stuff and go seek it rather than sit there and complain that it doesn't exist. And go find it or go make your own. Is there something missing? Talk to the library.
Exactly.
How many times, people, you should, all right, come, how many times have you guys had done programs or things? Shoot, I think Peggy, half the STEM stuff probably, because Peggy went there and said, I want to do STEM, here's how we do it, if you have a passion like that too, the library would love to, partner with you to help do some of that kind of stuff. That's what it's all about. So.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good deal. And of course, if you have questions, Tiffany, you can always go to the city's website. There's a Roswell, roswell-nm.gov, and there's a tab for the library, or there's a direct link. Or if you don't remember any of that, just Google Roswell NM Public Library.
Yeah, don't do Georgia.
Unless you want to learn about the Georgia Library. I'm sure it's nice too.
I'm sure it is.
Not as nice as ours.
Probably not, but they don't have aliens.
That's right.
Back to the aliens.
Well, I'm sure they're so sick of it because they get at least a couple calls a week asking alien-related things, thinking they're talking to us.
Oh yeah.
A lot more of that happening to them than probably us getting Georgia calls. I'm thinking.
Right.
That'd be my hunch. So it's probably a 4-letter. Roswell, New Mexico might be a 4-letter word to some of those folks over there.
Maybe.
We'll just be nice. So very good. Well, thank you guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. And tune in Monday because it's going to be the Peggy Bohlin show. I'm Peggy's actually going to be back on Monday. Just so happened to work out talking camp invention. Speaking of STEM, which by the way, go to invent.org. We'll talk. Tune in Monday to learn more about it. But over the weekend here, if you want an opportunity for your elementary age and even middle school with the LIT program this summer, there's a week in June here with Camp Invention that's going to be happening again. We'll talk more about it Monday, but kids, again, this is an opportunity for kids to really have fun in a group setting, learn actual STEM and science and all in a fun way. It's going to be so much fun
this year.
And it's going to be great. But tune in Monday. Peggy's going to talk more about that. But go to invent.org/camp. And you can learn more about it, sign up here, and then tune in Monday as we talk more of the details and stuff.
Exactly.
But one of her passions is STEM, and she does it at the library, she does it Camp Invention, and just about any place that'll let you do it, I think.
Just don't stop.
She's at the McDonald's just like, hey, can I borrow your French fries? Thank you, guys.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thank you.
you.